country. So I saw a couple people online saying, don't send me the flowers now, it's too cold. We know that. Cottage Farms has been in business 75 years. They know not to send them to you until it's time to plant. But I will also say, they do come with a growing guide, every one of them, and they also give you a warranty, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Let's dive into roses, and we've got Katie Dubow joining us right now.
Hello.
How are
Good,
you?
how are you?
So good to see you.
Great,
Katie,
great to be here.
It brings us our Cottage Farms flowers, and what I want to tell you is, first of all, she is truly a horticultural expert, but she has written books on the trends in gardening and things like that. So not only do you get the information about the flowers, but you're going to get ideas of where to put different things and what to put together.
Yes.
So that's why we love having Katie here. I'll tell you what, look at this little bouquet that they made for me. And my first thought when I saw these earlier this afternoon was, how in the world did you get that many petals on a rose?
Isn't it incredible?
Yes.
This is why we at Cottage Farms pick our roses. We are very, very choosy about which roses we pick. We do bring you a couple roses here, but we walk by so many throughout the summer, and this is one that stopped us in our tracks.
Yeah.
It has over 100 petals per flower.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Wow.
It's such one of those magical, romantic roses
Yeah.
that is going to be covered with flowers all summer into fall.
And the color is beautifully done in pink. You know what? I think your mic somehow is messing up. So we're going to bring Katie back in just a second. But here's what I want you to know. Oh, is it mine? Oh, then I'm going to be quiet and Katie's going to come in. But the one thing I was going to say real quick is this is their most popular rose bush. Now tell me about that.
Yes, so this is one of our most popular rose bushes. Cottage Farms is the grower's grower, which means we bring you great plants here on QVC, but we also sell plants to the pros. And this is the rose that the pros choose. They choose it for a couple of reasons. One is because it is disease resistant. It is one of those roses. I really don't want you to be afraid to grow roses. I know Mary Beth and I talked about her husband, Mark, who is a rose pro, but you don't have to be a rose pro to grow this rose. It is going to be one of those that has a big payout with very little work. So they do it for disease resistance. That means no worry about, do I need to spray it? Do I need to pick beetles off of it? You don't need to worry about that. And they also bred it for fragrance. I am telling you, this whole place smells so good. So you're not always going to get fragrance when you breed it for disease resistance. So that's really, really special and unique about this one.
I'm going to talk over your mic, okay, because mine's not working.
Okay.
And it will take a little bit to get it out.
Yes.
One quick thing I wanted to say was all day today, QVC is all about brands we love. Well, Cottage Farms has been here for 20 years. And when you want to have roses, you want to get the ones that have the most bang for the buck. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like you can buy a lot of roses, but they can be little roses. They may not be fragrant. These, it blew me away. I had to order them.
Oh.
It's that good. Now, how big will one of these bushes
So
get?
this is a nice, decent shrub. You can see a great field of them here. This is what we do. We get to go look at so many rose trials, but this is going to be about a 4 feet by 4 feet shrub. So whether you put it in the ground, or the great thing about it is you can also grow it in containers. So you can get that gorgeous, I mean, they call this a double, but I don't know if there's a word for how many layers of petals are on these.
Jumbo.
Jumbo.
One quick thing I wanted to mention, we're going to actually show everyone
Let's do it.
ships out
Yep.
and how to plant it, because I want to do ours in a container because we don't have much ground anymore now that we downsized.
Yeah.
So they are beautiful. I'm going to get a new mic. But here we've got the
All right,
Bareroot.
so when we deliver this to you, we are shipping it Bareroot, which means two things. One, that all you need to know is it's easier for you to plant. I'd rather plant a hole this big, dig a hole this big, than dig a giant hole like a 4 by 4 feet plant. So, but it's also easier on the plant. It is fantastic because you will get roses, are you ready, in 30 to 60 days. It's a really fast way for you to get roses. So the tricks here, there's just one little trick. I want you to dig the hole about as wide or a little wider than the root ball. So we are going to do that. I know the camera's going to come over here. So before we do that, one also little trick is you want to bury it all the way up to the crown or the place where the stems were growing into the main base of the tree. All right, so here we are. We are going to dig a hole about as wide or wider than that root ball. And then I do like to make a little mound of soil right in the bottom because the roots, you don't want a lot of air pockets in there. So you can stick those roots in, and if they can, splay them out a little bit. So I put the bare root right in the soil, and then I backfill what I have here in this pot. Now it's the same directions if you're doing it in the ground. You just want to dig that hole wider than the root ball, and then you want to fill. Here we have some nice potting soil, whether you're doing this in the ground or the container. Remember, you want to backfill it all the way up to the top. You don't really want to see much of that stem. I like to push it down and give it a good drink of water at this time. But fertilizer, super important for our roses. The things we want from our roses are blooms, and the way you're going to get that is by fertilizing them. This is our Cottage Farms fertilizer. Let me open it to show you how easy it is. It's like one of those little dishwasher pods. 1 pod per 1 gallon of water is so easy, but I don't want you to fertilize your roses until you start to see new growth. But it's really important. It's a separate fertilizer for roses than for the rest of the plants we have on the show.
That's what's nice. Now, they say I sound good. Okay, good.
Yay!
Anyway.
Welcome back.
But I want to give you the information for the Rose Booster Fertilizer Packs. It's M as in Mary, 7574. M7574. May I go back to one quick thing because we're almost out of time. However, this can go in the ground up to what temperature?
Yeah, so this is going to stretch the zone. So it's zones 5 to 9, but if you don't know what that means, it can go to -20.
Yeah.
So if you get -20 and you're worried, I can't have a beautiful rose like that, don't worry.
You can.
You can.
I ordered it. I'm telling you, this to me was one of the best prices for an amazing bush. And you can get as big as 4x4. It's more than 100 petals per flower. Very, very fragrant. And honestly, it's their most popular rose plant. And it's brand new right now.
Woo.
Okay, so you're the first ones to get your hands on it. I don't think it was on earlier today.
No,
was
it was not.
This,
Nope,
see,
brand new.
You're the first ones. Now, also coming up, we have the beautiful